All right, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Thank you for tuning in to the first edition of the Currency Matrix training. Here in this video, we are going to get straight to technical analysis and finding your key levels on your chart. The second most important thing that you need to understand and tool that you need to have in your belt is, of course, technical analysis. Aside from the psychology and trading, you also must have the ability and the skill to actually read the chart. There's a lot of fundamentals that go along with it, of course, that you're going to need logic and brain power for, but the other half is reading the charts. So let's get straight to it, identifying key levels. Here on my template, you should be able to go to the download and get a license for this template. And what shows here on my charts is up here in the far right corner, I have price. Excuse me, let me reverse. I got price here. I got the spread. I have that current high and low of whichever time frame I'm currently looking at. I have the net change in the daily statistics. I have pips to the high and low of the day. And I have the current time for the particular time frame I'm on. So with that being said, this particular time frame is the 4-hour candle. So you see there's 52 minutes left in this particular candle. Now, if I go to, say, the hour, of course, it's going to have the same thing, about 51 minutes. All right, if I go to the 30-minute, 20 minutes, okay, and so forth and so forth. I also have some automated trend lines that kind of help me and guide me, but those are not what I stick and stand by. I have to, of course, do my own research, and then I allow the indicator to confirm whatever theory I have on future price movement on the charts. Down on the bottom, I have an RSI. I have it measured at 50. It's a heavy RSI with a 50 moving average. Let me go ahead and change some settings. I'm going to take this alert off. This alert will confuse you, so I don't really utilize it. Okay, here I have the below 50 on the RSI is a bearish indication on pretty much most of your indicators out there. There'll be oscillators rather. The oscillators are down here at the bottom. They measure the current momentum and trend. If you have an indicator up here in the top window, it's typically going to be utilizing and assisting you with your price action identifications. So down here we have below 50 being bearish momentum, it'll turn white for you. If it's above 50 and it's in bullish momentum, it'll turn green for you. That is a very key component with this particular template that I use here. I also have some arrows that also indicate some levels of resistance. At future point, price will attempt to return to those levels, and that's when you react. So if you see right here at the here on this particular 30-minute chart, we have 3 areas right here, 3 green candles right here. And if we went here and actually put our price action to work, we can draw a trend line for ourselves and be very accurate with our identification. If we want to go to the bottom of this wick, we know that's right here. All right. And now we have 1, 2, and 3 points right there that have touched and confirmed that area. So as you see, we can make some analyzed, educated decisions here at this point. Of course, that's not an indication that you need to immediately jump into a position. That is an indication that there's a potential profitable reward coming if you're able to analyze continuously and put your work on the charts and not just trust the indicator itself. Again, you still have to do your work. There's no holy grail out there, but you must be able to analyze the charts. Okay. So diving into some key level recognition, utilizing the points and everything that I have just pointed out for you on the charts as far as what my template reads for you. Now we can actually get in here and do our part. So here on the monthly time frame, of course, going back to the training, you want to do a month top-down analysis starting with your monthly time frames. So here we can see that over here we had a trend, boom, All right, so in this trend, let's take a look at how this trend actually happened in real time. Of course, it's past time, but let's analyze it in real time, and then you'll be able to move forward and be able to ultimately pinpoint accurate entries in future in your future trading. So here we have, let's go ahead and just indicate this. This is the last bullish candle in this push. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and highlight for you. This is the last bullish candle in this upward swing. So with that being said, that's the level at which price retested before it was ultimately pushed down. All right, and if you see the wick right after that, that formed that bearish candle was the retest. All right, then here, this is the analyzing a trend. We're going to analyze a trend first here. So we have a high. All right, the low formed is here. All right, I'm just copying and pasting, therefore I have a straight line. All right, then what happened? We got a lower high here. All right, then we got a lower low here. Everybody see where I'm going with this? A trend is identified not only by swings, ultimately from here to here, but they are also identified by the candles that formate inside of that swing. All right, so we have a high, low, lower high, lower low. Look at this high. This high here was not higher than the last. So that is a steady trend line. All right. This one here. Then if we keep going, we have another lower low. Oops. All right. Then what do we get? We get an extremely lower high. Can anybody guess where I'm putting it? Yes, it's right here. So if you see this and you look at it like this, that's now going back, we'll get into it, of course, in a deeper, another video, but the market maker, 3 levels, 3 pushes down, 3 levels, 1 level, 2 level, 3 level, then 4, boom. This would have been an ultimate trap. Look at this low. Notice how this is the next lower low. And then we have another lower high. So we got this right here happening. Now check this out. We have a lower low. And then right here, a higher high. Our first higher high. Now, a higher high now indicates a reversal or a change in trend. All right, so there's our higher high there. And now, of course, you see we have a higher low followed right behind. Higher low. The first higher high is here. Let's go back and let's begin tracing it again. We had a low. All right. So now we have a higher high again. Then we have a higher low. Now, if you look closely at these particular higher highs and higher lows, they are used as resistance, support and resistance in future reference. Let's go ahead and trace this one more time. Then we got the higher high here, then the higher low, then the higher high. But then right here, we have a lower high. And then the series of lower highs begin to print out again until right here, higher low. So that is basic analyzing a trend. Okay, now, of course, there are major swings in the trend. So we have a high here, then a low here, then a high here, then a higher low here. Then a higher here, higher low here. And what you're seeing here are higher points in where price turned around ultimately. And that's easier seen just by looking at the candles. We got white, 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 green. You know, this area of support. White, green, green. Pushed all the way up to here. So we know now there's a white candle. So this is a resistance area. The white candle stopped here, so this is support. But if you look to the left, look, that's not a coincidence. All right, then you bounce up and you bust right through this support level. All right, this is still going to be stretched out here for future indications. Then we got the green, 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 white. So we know this is a resistance area. That white candle stopped here, so we know this is a supportive area. We know the monthly candle is yet to close, hasn't closed yet. So we're still trading in here. This period hasn't closed. Now, in my opinion, it will close here. So as we get to a lower time frame and doing our analysis, right now, we'll be able to take a current position on that. I've been the intraday trading it, so I've been in and out in the same day. Swing positions are positions you hold for longer than 3 or 4 days or more. I have been entering and exiting within the same day lately, but we'll go ahead and I'll show you how I believe this candle, since it has broke this support level or resistance level, it will now come here. All right, so just let's go ahead and clear the board. didn't clear it all. Hold on one second. Let me get the rest of that off there. All right. So now let's go ahead and map this all the way out. Looking at this chart here on this, the trends that we just recognized are going to be best seen on a lower time frame, but the higher indication is the power and the momentum of that particular swing. So if we go ahead and just start doing our top-down analysis, we'll be looking right here first at the far left on where price was rejected or supported and vice versa. Right here would be that first turn. So we'll draw a line here on the close of those candles all the way across. Make sure it's a straight line. All you have to do is copy and paste. And now you got a straight line if you're crooked in any way. Now, if we look as it moves forward, or even right here, let's go ahead and hit that level too. We'll make a straight line. And again, all you have to do is copy and paste. All right. And we got a level here. Now, ultimately, I'm just looking at where price was dropping bear candles and where the bull candles started stepping in. That's all I'm doing right now. It's easy, it's easy, it's easy. Just you got to do it. All right. Now we have our support levels, support and resistance levels. Since this is going to be from the bottom, it's support. From the bottom, it's support. Since it's resistance, let's just go ahead and change the color so there's no confusion. All right. So looking here, as price moved from the left to the right, we can see that boom, we got that, boom, we got that, boom, we got that. Right here, price jumped through it. Now, of course, resistance levels and supportive levels, once they are broken, they become flip mode. What I mean by flip mode is this level is support here, but when it was broken here, it was played now turned into resistance. Broken here, now played into support. Broken here, now resistance. Broken here, now support again. Here's support. Here, not broken, confirmed support. All right. So with that being said, moving forward, now we have our support, resistance, resistance. Notice we got a double top here. We got a double bottom here. This triple would have been triple top here, was crushed by this continuation. So ultimately, what we're looking at with doing the chart work on the higher time frames, you're able to see strong support and resistance level. Now, like I said, now you may begin to see how I expect price to come back here this month, and the next week or so is going to be very, very heart-shattering to the pound. All right, so moving forward. Doing some more key level analysis. You got those levels confirmed. Now, over here, let's go ahead and take a look at right here where price ultimately peaked out and we got another resistance level. All right, now up here at this particular resistance level, we can see how price did break it and breach and continue to go higher, but it was immediately brought back down by the next candle, which is a great indication of a rejection and a potential head and shoulders, what we'll be able to identify on a later turn in just a moment here on this video. That head and shoulders, I'll go ahead and box it out. So as we get to a lower time frame, you'll be like, wow, that is a head and shoulders, if you know what a head and shoulders is. If you know what a head and shoulders is, and if you've been following me and learning under my wing for quite some time, you can see it right now. I know you can. We've been doing this for a while, but there's the head and shoulders. I'll go ahead and it'll stand out for us once we get to a later time frame here. Give me 1 second. I'm actually taking some binaries as I go over this with you guys. We'll get into binaries live on another training. I know there's a lot of people that can't wait to do the binary training. All right, so now looking at this monthly, it's a clear indication that we're possibly continue to break down. Now, right here, after that particular first shoulder over here, let's go ahead and highlight that bottom there. Now, again, looking at it from a higher time frame allows you to be able to put yourself in a position to hold the trade a lot longer than an intraday, which is considered a swing trade. All right, let's get back to it. All right, now let's go into the weekly. Now here on the weekly chart, we've already done our analysis on a higher time frame. As you can see, there's the head and shoulders right here. All right, so here's the first shoulder, which was identified by this resistance. Here's the head, which was pushed up again, which ultimately rejected this resistance. And then we have shoulder number 2. Here. All right, so ultimately, as you can see, for my analysis here on the particular pound USD, is going to be bearish. Now, of course, this is a bullish candle. So if we zoom in here on the weekly, again, do our high, low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Here, we have a higher low. Look right here, it's real. You gotta really pay attention to some of this stuff. Some of this stuff is real tedious, but it's easy to identify if you know what you're looking for. Higher high or higher high, higher low. And then if you look right here with this little arrow identified, that was peak low, and these are lower, higher. So ultimately, it could be looking like that. All right. Now, if you look down here at the oscillator, it's above 50 and it's green. All right. So what we'll need to look for, since this is just one candle, we need to look on a higher time frame. I mean, sorry, a lower time frame. Now, just looking in right here, I'll go ahead and point out, this is the high, this is the lower high. All right. So I just want to point that out, because what we'll likely do is get a closed candle here tomorrow for Friday. And then next week we'll come and finish the crash. All right, so let's go in here to a lower time frame, as I mentioned. Sorry, I'm gonna skip one. Start at the daily. All right. Now, after all the analysis we've done on the higher time frames, such as the monthly, the weekly, this is what we're here and brought to on the daily. Now we have that trend line I identified. We have the head and shoulders pattern confirmed and identified. We also have these trend lines in here to help kind of identify what phase we're on now. Now, although we did get a higher low here, we're still ultimately in a downtrend, as you can see. So now we're looking here, ultimately we're in a downtrend. Now we can actually look at the actual particular candle formations that are forming and things of that nature. Like right here, this is an engulfing pattern. Okay, we have a bearish candle who completely engulfed the previous highest bullish candle in that rally. Of course, it's got to wait till close. It closes in about 15 minutes. If you look down here, it's 1:57. New day starts at 2. So this is where I see how tomorrow will close, probably right in there too. Tomorrow we'll probably get a doji. And then next week it'll continue its move and break this particular area here. So that is my analysis here currently on the pound USD, just utilizing key levels and your basic technical analysis skills doing your top-down analysis. Now we'll get into some more advanced technical analysis featured in some other videos. I didn't want to make these series too long, but I wanted to make sure I pointed out every detail. So we'll go ahead and break down another pair. I'm just going to pick a random pair. And if you're in my future lives, you may be able to catch me picking up right here where we left off in some live trading. All right. So here now we are looking at the USD Swiss franc. Let's go ahead and go out to our highest time, our monthly time frame, and begin our top down here. All right, now let's begin our top down analysis here. Starting from the left to the right. Then we just want a straight line, copy paste. It's very simple, but very tedious. You have to know what you're looking for. All right, now we have a support here. All right, now let's come in here. All the way down to right here. Boom. Now, if you're looking closely, there's an inverse head and shoulders here. Now, we know pound and this particular USD CHF tend to correlate. So ironically, it was a great random kick. You look here, we have a head and shoulders. Again, if you've been with me for a while, you'll be able to see this without me drawing it, but just for visual purposes, let's go ahead and do it. First shoulder, head, shoulder. Again, we'll go into a lower time frame and we'll be able to see that. Now, it's very inverse to the pound USD. So that is an inverse head and shoulders. Again, you know, the head and shoulders was straight face up. This is inverse, it's flipped. But it's the same pattern somewhat that we just did on that we just analyzed on the pound USD. All right, now, boom, let's go ahead and hit this one. All right, boom. So we can go ahead and hit this. I'll go ahead. I know you probably looked at. All right, you hit that level. Here we go. There you go. That's happy. Gotcha. All right. So now, Somebody else is probably like, we did that look. All right, now I know everybody's happy. No, no, we didn't hit that number. Hold on. All right, now I know everybody's happy. No, we didn't hit that number. Hold on, I'll get that one too. All right, now I really hope everybody's happy with that. Okay, so I've identified all my lows here, my resistance. So this is actually, I'm gonna color this red. Why didn't you color that one red? There you go, it's red. All right, so we have our resistance and we have our supportive areas. All right, now, if you look at where we're currently at now we're looking to push up through here, okay? Again, this is a bullish pattern formation here because it's already exceeded half of the previous bearish candle. So this is a bullish candle, bullish likely continuation, which means just a likely close, just like a bullish bearish did on the pound. And then shoot up here. Oh, I'm sorry, this is the monthly. Okay, wait a minute. We'll see it more in detail on the weekly candle. Okay, so now you see what we got here. Boom. Let's go ahead and hit this low trend line, low, low, a higher low rather. All right, now let's go into the weekly. Here's the weekly. Beautiful, beautiful. Y'all been out here trading for a while. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. Great opportunity to go long on the pound. It's I'm sorry, not the pound, but the USD CHF. It's beautiful. One second here. All right. So all right. So here in the weekly, what we're looking at again are those that head and shoulders that we identified. Very, very, very likely that price will make this move here. Now that's right here is another sign of crypto about to explode as well. But we'll do one of those in just a moment. Here we're bringing down to the daily. You see there's a trend line wedge, the automated trend line there is for us. Now again, these trend lines are there to assist us on our already confirmed the analysis that we're doing here ourselves. If we look at the 50, we're green. So we're looking at bullish momentum anyway, a bullish trend power. All right, so here on the daily, we're very likely to continue pushing up. Now let's go to the 4 hour, or sorry, yeah, the 4 hour. Oh, sorry, we could actually highlight some levels here. Here we got a level. Now, once you get in here to the lower time frames, of course, you still want to be as tedious as possible. You just don't want to have lines all over your chart. You still want to be able to recognize what's happening at those particular levels. Here we have another head and shoulders inverse. To another indication, pricing may continue up. All right, we do have a resistance level here, but it's will be breached soon right here. All right, now let's go in here to the 4 hour. And we see how the 4 hours get ready to close in here. We'll probably come down in here, consolidate. And then next week, again, like I stated, we'll do something like this. So we may consolidate in this range, and the next week take off. All right, now with the 4 hour chart, notice how we are bullish. We weren't bearish here, but we just crossed over likely right in here. If we want to pinpoint and be very accurate and precise, we would utilize this area here. In this area here. All right, so we have an area in which price will likely consolidate right in here. And then next week will be the level that we get pushes off. Hopefully everybody's able to understand how this technical analysis is done. Finding your key levels, utilizing what you have on your screen to make money. Ultimately, come to the hour. This is what we're looking at. This goes to show you that here we had a downtrend happening on the hour time frame. And now we have an uptrend. We had a double bottom or a higher low. And of course, as you see down below, we're green, which is bullish activity, bullish momentum. All right. So again, technical analysis is very simple, but it's very precise, and you have to do the work. Okay, you have to do the work. So it's very important you understand what you're looking for and how to find it. So, ladies and gentlemen, tune into the next live event, and I'll show you how it's done in real time, and we'll make some money together.